Good morning, folks. I really debated about doing this particular video because I shared a lot to the community page on it, and I've been promoting certain channels, let's just say, for quite a while. And one of those is Gregory Manarino. Now, let me say this first before I get into the meat of the subject here. I'm going to suggest to people that they listen more than they watch. Okay? And I'm showing my face in this video and, just making this video, inside here instead of the vehicle or whatever because I want to talk to people directly in this way. And, but I'm going to suggest that people listen more than they watch. And the reason I say that is if you listen to what someone is saying instead of actually looking at them and watching them, you will get a preconceived notion about a person, their actions, their body language, their how they look, whatever, because that's just human nature. We look at people and we automatically judge them by what they look like. The color of their skin, their hair, like I said, their nonverbal communication, their body language, what they're wearing, so forth and so on. It's like that's why the word says God looks at the heart and man looks at the outside, paraphrasing there. But we always look at the outside. People might look at me right now and say, okay, the dude's unshaven, he's wearing a hat, he's a t-shirt, I mean, why should I even listen to this guy? That's why I said, listen, don't watch, okay? So, but in this particular case, I'm showing my face because it's important enough to talk to people directly about this. Now, the reason I say that is people should go to Gregory Manarino YouTube channel and listen to the video that he just put out. I shared it to the post, or you can just go to Gregory Manarino on YouTube and type it in yourself while he's still on YouTube till August 4th, I think, is when he'll be off of YouTube. Because he just put out what probably will be the most important video you will ever hear. It's like, that's sensational. That's crazy. Why would you say that? Well, let me put it to you this way. If you're still in the workforce, if you work for a company, a business, or maybe, a small business, a major company, corporation, or whatever, get ready to get paid in what's called stablecoin, which is basically a worthless digital token IOU. Because Congress, in all of its wisdom, on on I guess the 16th into the early morning hours of the 17th, and I think it's on Trump's desk as of the 17th, passed what they call the Genius Act. People can look this up. Genius Act, stable coin. This is so much worse than a CBDC, okay, central bank digital currency, because as Gregory explained it, at least there was some congressional oversight. With this, completely and totally unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. No oversight whatsoever. Totally and completely oppressive, unconstitutional, totalitarian, basically what dictators would do. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, sucks to be you. There's nothing you can do about it. Now people say, yeah, we can speak up, we can do this, I make videos about it, I share things, I inform people, I warn people, many other people do the same things. But the bottom line is, we don't have a whole lot of say in this, okay? So, when does it go into effect? I'm not exactly sure, okay? But I will tell you, like I said, it sounds sensational, okay? But I will tell you that I truly believe in my heart that as of July 17th, 2025, a day that will live in infamy that most people don't even have a clue about because of this change. See, me, you, other people, your family members, your children, your grandchildren. If you're in the workforce, you work for somebody, you get paid, you put in the hours, you put in the time, you get direct deposit or hard copy check. Most people direct deposit either weekly or bi-weekly or whatever. You expect to get paid for the work that you do, and you expect to be able to use that money to pay your bills and to live, buy groceries, buy whatever you need, give to whatever ministries or charities or whatever people choose to. The bottom line is, after what is given rightfully to the Lord, it's basically yours to do with what you want. And if you're a wise steward of the finances, you'll pay your bills, you'll buy groceries, you won't buy garbage, you'll buy what you need, you buy what you need to live, you'll take care of business, whatever it is, okay? But that's everybody's personal choice what they want to do with their finances. Guess what? Now you don't have that choice. Welcome to America Babylon. Because the government's making sure that you don't. Because what they're doing with the Genius Act is completely unconstitutional. It is taking away, I don't know exactly when. I'm guessing several months from now. I've got my own predictions, but I'm going to leave it to myself. They're just my opinions, but I'm not going to put myself out there like that. But I would venture to guess a few to several months from now. But anyway, probably by the end of the year for sure, I would think. But regardless, they will somehow begin to implement this system. Like I said, it's so much worse. Listen to Gregory Manarino's video. He can explain it so much better than I do. He's a million times smarter than I am. I'm just a dude, just like I said, unshaven, getting ready to go to work soon. Don't really care. I shave on the weekends. I don't care about it during the week. It's just not that important to me, okay? Not that important to me what I look like. People can judge, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care, okay? I'm almost 55 years old, man. I don't care, okay? So, but regarding this situation, people need to care about this because eventually it's going to bite us in the butt. It's going to come up quick, hard, and fast. And most people won't understand it when it happens. All of a sudden, your cash is useless. Your cash is worthless. Maybe your debit or credit cards work. I don't know. I don't understand completely how this stable coin works. All I know is it's unconstitutional. It is a worthless digital token IOU, basically. I don't understand the whole thing behind it. All I know is it's bad. It's really, really bad. And how they plan to pay people or don't pay people, all I know is it's all about tracking and monitoring. Okay? They want to monitor and track your purchases, what you spend money on, who you spend money on, what you give it to, who you give it to. And they can track all of this now with the stable coin, with the Genius Act. Check it out for yourself. Read it for yourself. Research it yourself. Or just listen to the 14-minute video that Gregory Manarino put out earlier. And the reason I say, to digress here, to back up from the very beginning of this video, to listen rather than watch, is I'm not saying that people are necessarily hiding things. Hey, I don't know everybody's heart, okay? And a lot of the people I share their videos on, I don't know them personally. I mean, they might share my stuff. They may not share my stuff. They might recommend my stuff to other people. They may not. That's great. I appreciate it if they do. If not, whatever. No hard feelings. Like I said, I really don't care. Okay? I just don't. All right? I'm busy like the rest of you, like my family is, like your family is. I just don't, But it's come to my attention that the video I shared from Jamie Walden on Sunday, and I actually emailed Jamie about this. I don't know if he'll get back with me or not, but I did, because I understand the concern. Hand gestures, how people express themselves, verbal communication, nonverbal communication, or whatever. I understand that maybe people don't completely understand what they're doing with their hands or whatever, but there are certain hand gestures that get people in the know who are awake. It makes them concerned. I get that, the upside down triangle with the hands and all the rest of that stuff. I notice it myself, but I listen to the message more than anything else. It's just like with Manarino, with Gregory with his Rastafarian caps, okay? Listen, I may not agree with all of that, okay, with wearing the caps and everything and the different Rastafarian hats or whatever, but that's him. That's his choice. That's what he chooses, okay? I listen to the people for the information. That's why I listen more than I watch. Because if you watch people, you're going to find things and you're going to pick things out and say, "Well, no, I'm not going to watch them because they did a certain hand gesture and they did it over and over and over again." Listen, maybe they know, maybe they don't know. Maybe it's a nervous habit. Maybe they're not aware of what they're doing. Maybe somebody needs to point it out, like I did. I emailed the man and I said, "Listen, people are noticing this. I don't know. I mean, maybe you want to address it, maybe you don't want to address it. You're a man. Do what you want." But that's why I say listen and don't watch. Because if you watch, you'll be able to pick out every little thing, and miss the message. You'll miss the point of the message. You'll miss what is being said that is really, really, really good information. And it will help you and your family in the long run if people listen. So that's why I say listen and don't watch. Okay? As far as the hand gestures and the hats and the things that people wear, whatever. So personally, I don't believe these people are evil. Okay? I believe that they're serving the Lord. They're trying to serve others. I don't think they're evil. You judge people by their fruits. Okay? When I see other politicians or elitists, globalists, Satanists, whatever, doing the hand gestures, and I know that they're evil. I know that they're a liar. I know that they're a hypocrite. I know that they're a coward. I know that they're just doing nothing but practicing deception constantly and trying to hurt people and cover everything up, to save themselves. Well, then, yeah, I'll pay a whole lot of attention to their hand gestures and to the signals that they're giving their friends, and showing that they're on board and following orders and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Sure, yeah, absolutely. I'll pay attention to all of that when I already know that the person is evil or the people are evil. But if I don't believe that they're evil and they have no reason and they've never done anything or said anything to lead me to believe that they're evil, I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them a break and say, it doesn't look good. I understand what people are saying. You might want to change it. You might want to be aware of it. Maybe your wife should say something to you, or somebody in your congregation, or somebody who's listening to you, or whatever. Like I said, I did. I emailed the man. I said, listen, you might want to, tone it down, or I don't know, maybe you don't realize you're doing it. I don't know what the deal is, man. I don't think the man's evil. So, because I won't listen to people for information and for help and advice and guidance if they're evil. All right, I'm not stupid. Okay, but if they're given, I listen to the message and I don't watch them as much. Now other people say, well, you got to watch it all. You got to listen to all. You got to find this clue and that clue and this clue and that clue. Hey, knock yourself out, man. There's not that many hours in the day for me. Okay, I'm busy like you are, like other people are. We work full-time jobs, we're out on the road, we're out of the business, we're out of the place, we're busting butt, we're doing what we got to do. We're Americans trying to, and American Christians, or excuse me, Christian Americans, not American Christians, and we're doing the best we can each and every day. And I'm not going to nitpick every little detail and thing that people do with their hands. All right, but if other people want to do that, hey, knock yourself out. I listen to the message, and then I take the information from the message, and then I relay it, and then I save it, and I'll think about it, I pray about it, and if the message resonates with me, and I'm like, man, this is a true message from the Lord. This is stuff people need to know about. This is stuff people need to be aware of, so they're not caught off guard, because like I said, as of 7/17/25, in my opinion, everything changed. It's game over. We we're just playing this thing out. We're just playing out the inevitable at this point. It all changed as a 71725 with the Genius Act, 716, 717, whatever. With the Genius Act, the stable coin, unconstitutional, illegal. It's all changed now. People can believe me, don't believe me, whatever. I said, it doesn't really matter to me. I am just doing what I can to try to help as many people as possible with the remaining time we have left to put out a message, to try to help people. Ignore it, take it, do whatever you want with it. Like I said, at this point in time, for those of us that have been out there pretty much every single day, with the exception of a few days off here and there for like the last, I don't know how many years, 10 plus or whatever it's been, it gets old, man. But we're coming to the end now. I mean, let's say to the beginning of the end. Let's put it that way. The beginning of the end. It appears that 2025 is it. It really does. It appears that it started in mid-July of 2025, where it's really going to get more intense, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like for the rest of this year. But hey, that's something people can pray about, take it to the Lord. But as for me, I'm doing my best to inform people, warn people, help people, put the information out there to try to, just help as many people as possible with the time we have remaining, before they take us all off of YouTube and social media and this and that and imprison us for speaking the truth and everything else. It is what it is, man. Okay? I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to be silent. That's just who I am. I've gotten very bold over the years. I never used to be, but I've gotten really bold, especially these last few years, where it's just like, I think it's just something when you get into your 50s, whatever, maybe even your 40s, where you just don't give a crap anymore. And you're going to speak out, and you're going to stand up for what's right and for righteousness and truth. And you're going to stand up for Jesus, and you're going to stand up for others. And, man, if people don't like that, they can sit and spin for all I care. I mean, you just get to a point where it's just like you get tired of the stupid. You get tired of living in an idiocracy. And you just like, you know what? I'm going to say something. And if that has consequences, it has consequences. So be it. The Lord's going to take care of me. The Lord's going to take care of my family. He's going to take care of you. He's going to take care of your family. If you speak up and you stand up for righteousness, you stand up for Jesus, He's going to take care of all of it. So I ain't worried about it. You just do what you're supposed to do each and every day. You serve the Lord, you serve others, and it's all going to work out. And this is how I do it. By warning people, informing people, trying to help people, try to lead them into, a direction to where they can get the best information and knowledge and things that'll help them. But, like I said, if people want to just pick out nothing but hand gestures and the dude's wearing a hat and I don't like his hat and, and some fool even in the comment section, did you go Muslim on us? That's just stupid. It's just dumb, okay? It's just dumb. It's like, listen to the message. Listen to what the words are that are coming out of people's mouths, and then discern from there. Use godly wisdom and discernment from there, and then find out are they telling you the truth? Are they full of garbage? Should you be listening to this? Should you not be listening to it? God gave us all a brain. Use the brain. Use the brain He gave you. And be wise. Be smart. So, anyway, I think I've beaten this dead horse long enough now. Giving you a lot to think about, a lot to pray about, a lot to research, a lot to look at. You don't have to look at my page or post or whatever. You can if you want. You don't have to. I make no apologies for what I'm posting. I know some of it's harsh. I know some of it is controversial. I know some of it might be offensive. But listen, we're in a fight, man. The devil hates us. His minions hate us. And this is a battle. This is a battle to the death. And lives and souls are at stake. And I'm not going to hold back. It's just like people need to come out of this delusion, this self-delusion the delusion that they're under, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, while there's still time, where they're still able to, and stop with the left-right paradigm, political garbage or whatever, and let's just call it out for what it is. Good and evil. That's what it is. It's either, you're either on the side of Jesus or you're on the side of the devil. There is no in between. It's one or the other. Pick a side. You're either a side of Jesus Christ and his righteousness and his holiness, or you're on the side of evil, the devil, and hell. Harsh, but true. I don't see how people can argue with that. You're either on one side or the other. People say, well, I'm on my own side. Then you're on the side of the devil, because you're worshiping yourself and you're not worshiping God. It's one or the other. You're either on Jesus' side or you're on Satan's side. Pick a side. Because as a 7/17/25, in my opinion, everything changed. And we're going to find out in the next several months, I think. All right, I'm going to get going. Y'all have a very blessed day. Hope this was helpful to you. Just speaking from my heart. All right, take care. Bye-bye.